So The Athletic has their tier of quarterbacks that they've put out as well as rankings. What I was curious about, and then I can kind of go down the list as we talk, is there a quarterback that when people are like, that quarterback is better than Dak, it drives you crazy? Or vice versa? Because the one quarterback has emerged in this discussion early on. From the 972, the Dak over Herbert take is stupid. So this is a person saying if you don't think Herbert is better than Dak, that's dumb. And then immediately followed by Herbert over Dak because it's all based on potential. He's done nothing. So then we have one person who's mad when people say Herbert is not better than Dak, immediately followed by a person who gets mad when you say Herbert is better than Dak. So I don't know if Herbert will emerge as kind of the flashpoint for this, but is there a quarterback that you get mad when you hear somebody say either Dak is better than that quarterback or is not?
Romo.
A current quarterback.
But I'm still going to go Romo, though. Because people still think Romo could come back and be better right now.
He can't, and he couldn't in 2016 either. I'm sorry. We need to kind of accept that.
Yeah, I get mad when people throw Kirk Cousins in that mix.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not a huge fan of his, and I'm very curious as to why Mike Zimmer wasn't a huge fan of his either, because everybody's saying that he hated his quarterback. Well,
yeah.
Maybe he saw that guy, like, he's not the leader I need him to be at the quarterback position, which I've always said. So that dude's name and Garoppolo. So those are the two for me, is him and Garoppolo. Because if you say Derek Carr, I can't get mad about that because I feel like they're the same quarterback. Like there's
sure.
a lot of similarities there. So Garoppolo and Kirk Cousins.
This is amazing. We already got, so Herbert is one candidate from the 972. I can't stand when people say Dak is better than Lamar. Lamar has an MVP, awful weapons compared to Dak. The very next text, anyone that says Lamar is better than Dak, that drives me crazy. So once again, another alternate viewpoint. All right, but
real quick question about Herbert. That person saying they get mad when they hear Herbert's better than Dak.
Right.
Would anybody right now, and take the contract out.
Yeah.
If they said, hey, the Cowboys just traded for Justin Herbert and they gave up Dak Prescott to do that.
Let's run that experiment. 877-881-1053. If you're a Cowboys fan, would you make that deal straight up? Yes or no? Taking out all outside forces out of the equation in terms of contract, everything like that. Would you trade Dak for Justin Herbert? Yes or no? We'll get an answer to that in just a second.
Mine would be yes.
I would too.
And I couldn't say yes fast enough, and I would think I was getting pranked.
Now, Dak
I won that deal.
Yes, for sure. Dak is wedged right between Derek Carr and Lamar Jackson, which will give you an idea of where the Athletic kind of has him slotted. So Aaron Rodgers is at the top. He's in tier 1 along with Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow. Those are the tier 1 quarterbacks. So those are your top 6 quarterbacks per the Athletic. That's your tier 1. Do you have an issue with, when we were talking about that, do you have an issue with any of those quarterbacks being ranked ahead of Dak?
No.
I don't either. By the way, early vote, yes, in a heartbeat. I would probably trade much more than that. I only have one no so far. Yes, I'm making that trade all day, every day. Yes. Hell effing yeah. 100%. Yes. I'll throw in draft picks. Absolutely. I'll throw in Zeke.
I knew the totals
Dak.
were smart.
Yeah. So I'm seriously counting these as we go along. I see 2 that have said no, but
I knew most of our listeners were smart.
The vast majority not only say yes, they add something with it, within a heartbeat, or I would give up more, or whatever the case might be. So there you go.
We leave to go to camp tomorrow, and most of the fans would rather not have Dak as their quarterback.
Just compared to Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
I will say this. I know this is a weird one because we were like, yeah, no, duh. You know what? When people were trying to tell us Andy Dalton is as good as Dak and there won't be any drop-off when he broke his leg, I was like, guys, I am not a Andy Dalton hater. I think Andy Dalton has had a pretty decent career. as a guy that made the playoffs somewhat pretty consistently, never won in the playoffs, couldn't probably push you into the category of championship game or Super Bowl or anything like that. But when Dak got hurt and everybody's like, we'll be fine, Andy Dalton's as good. And I was like, guys, I know this is a few years ago now, but I was just like, that was one where I'm like, look, I'm not the biggest Dak lover. I think he's a good quarterback. But I was like, guys, Andy Dalton and Dak Prescott, there's a pretty major difference here.
Yeah.
But that's one where, it's extreme because I think a lot of the people that are bringing up, whether it's Lamar Jackson, whether it's Derek Carr, obviously I think Justin Herbert is that tier 1 guy. There's probably like 7 guys in the NFL, maybe even up to 10, where I think you can have a real conversation on who's better, and there's no winner or loser in it. It's just tough. But there are those tier of guys that you just named where like I can't have a conversation about Dak Prescott and those guys.
Yes. Okay. So it feels like we're all on board with those first 6. And then we move into tier 2. Matthew Stafford, number 7. Russell Wilson, 8. Deshaun Watson, 9.
I think Deshaun Watson's a better quarterback.
I do.
Bobby Belt will be like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you anymore. I get it. From what I watch, I like that quarterback more. I want to see him with a better team.
Yeah.
I gotta know what he can do with a better
Maybe as
team.
a better
around him.
person.
Okay. I don't know. Everybody has a story. I want to see him play with the type of talent that maybe the Cowboys do have and see what the similarities and differences are. But I think he's a slightly better quarterback than Dak.
Can I ask you a question about this? Because somebody brought this up about why they wouldn't trade for Herbert. It was an interesting follow-up. They said, I wouldn't make that deal because he would get drugged down just like everybody else does here.
Wow.
Is there any kind of weird benefit of the doubt that Dak gets for being part of an organization that can be problematic at times?
Because we need him to overcome that.
Okay.
That's everybody that becomes the quarterback has to overcome that somehow.
To Corey's point, that's why nothing against Dak. I think Dak is a good quarterback. We have to take the greatest quarterback of a generation because it's going to take that to overcome the branding of the Dallas Cowboys. The face of the franchise is the owner and has been ever since Jimmy, Troy, Michael, and Emmett left. At that point, somewhere in the late 90s, Jerry became the face of the franchise, and nobody has overtaken that from him or even really challenged him that much in overtaking. And it has to be somebody special who can overcome the branding of the Dallas Cowboys to become the face and the ultimate winner of the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't think I have an issue with Watson.
I think they're all in the conversation.
Stafford. Yeah. Russell Wilson is a weird deal because for a lot of these years, I would not have had an issue with this. Now I am very curious to see what he does in Denver, and I would listen to that conversation.